DJ Metal Craig Craig's Millstone here, and I have one of the members of Conjurer with me today. Hey, how's it going? And would you like to introduce yourself and what position you do in the band?
Yeah, hey, I'm Danny from Conjurer. I'm vocalist and guitarist.
Please go back in the history of Conjurer and how the band all got started.
Wow, going back 10 years or so now. So it all started, Brady posted on Facebook one time that he was looking to start a metal band again. We'd both been in metal bands in our teen years, and had since then I joined a cover band. He was in a pop punk band, and he just wanted to start something heavy again. And so yeah, he posted on Facebook that he was looking to start something up in the vein of like Gojira, Black Dahlia Murder, and they were like two of my favorite bands at the time. So very unlike me, I replied to him, was like, "Yeah, I'm working on some stuff. I can come round, I can show you what I got. Let's see what we can do with it." And it just rolled on from there. We just hit it off as friends. We hit it off as like musical peers, and yeah, like within a year, we'd found a drummer and a bassist, and it was like February 2015. We did our first gig, and that's been it ever since. We've just been rolling.
This one gets the bands laughing a little bit, but sometimes I feel it's a good question to ask the guys. How did you guys come up with the band name Conjurer?
Um, Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that at the time we were thinking of band names, there was only two options. There was Conjurer. I can't remember why. I think I just thought of the name was like, well, I don't hate that. It's a pretty cool word. And the other one was Black Nest. I don't know why, but we ended up looking it up, and it turned out to be like a fishing village in the UK. And we were like, okay, Conjurer it is.
Cool, man. Who's all in the current Conjurer band lineup and what instruments do they play?
So there's me, vocals and guitar. There's Brady, who is also vocals and guitar. Uh, Connor Marshall is our bassist, and Noah C is our drummer.
This one's a bit of a stumper, but a good one that I asked the bands. Who designed the Conjurer band logo?
That was me. I was just at work and was just doing the teenage thing of like scribbling out a band name like on my notebook or whatever, and yeah, just came up with this like scratchy, horrible thing. And like we tried getting like a proper logo done, and we just couldn't agree on anything. So I've just over the years just constantly been trying out different things, and yeah, it's still my handwriting as the logo.
Cool, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, kid. I didn't know you were an actual artist yourself.
I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm an artist, but yeah, I like to doodle. Yeah,
Okay, all good, man. I was just saying because you could be considered an artist because you designed the logo yourself.
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
How did you guys come up with the album title Unself?
So that was when I was like coming up with the material for the album and thinking about like lyrics and stuff. I knew that everything I was writing about was related to the self. Uh, and we know a band in the UK, they're really good friends of ours called Unpeople. And I thought, "Oh, that's an interesting name." And they were telling us about like what it meant. And I just thought it was really cool. And just thought, could you add un in front of self? Like, is that an actual word? And looked it up. And even though it's not a very common word, it's a real word and had multiple definitions. One of them being like to detach from the self, one of them meaning to like have a lack of self. And the third one was to remove oneself from something. So, like, to remove selfishness. And considering the album, we didn't want it to be from like a me perspective. We wanted it to be more about like kind of other people and speaking to other people, connecting to other people. We just found that all the definitions fit.
With Unself being released October 24th, 2025, where can the album be pre-ordered or purchased?
You can pre-order it through Nuclear Blast. You can pre-order it through the Conjurer website, Bandcamp, all that kind of stuff.
This one I thought was kind of cool. You guys released Let Us Live as a video. Would you like to talk about how this video came about?
Yeah, so the song is very much a kind of trans rights anthem in our view. It's written from the perspective of a trans person, a marginalized person, an othered person sitting across from their oppressor and essentially asking them, why are you trying to take my rights away? Like, why do you deserve to have basic human rights and I don't? And when it came to the video, it was Brady's wife thought it would be a cool idea to kind of do an homage to Orange is the New Black, like the intro of that show, where it's just like people's faces, you don't see the eyes and stuff like that. And yeah, I rolled with that. I wrote like a treatment for it. We recruited a bunch of our like trans friends and non-binary friends and stuff, and just wanted to make like something that was very cathartic, not only for the trans community at large, but like our friends and ourselves, and yeah, just be able to kind of ask all these questions directly to the camera and yeah, just have like a very cathartic kind of release.
So there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I can
Okay, I
hear
was
you.
just checking. I wasn't sure you finished answering the question or not.
Yeah, I'd finished. Yeah.
Okay, all good then. I just wanted to let you know I actually saw the video before the interview. It's absolutely sick and awesome, buddy.
Thank you.
And then we're going to get into thanks to Nuclear Blast Records for setting up this interview, and thanks to them for giving me promotional copy of the Conjurer Unself album. I'm going to get you to talk about one of my favorite songs off the album now because I've jammed the album and it's absolutely sick, well balanced, and awesome. The song I want you to talk about on the album is what were the themes and concepts behind the song titled "This World Is Not My Home."
So that one was it's based on a gospel song that I believe Jim Reeves has done a version of. And it's a Christian gospel song that I discovered on like a YouTube essay or something years ago. There was this guy, Ben Babbitt, he'd done a cover of it, and I love folk and country music anyway, and I just thought it was a beautiful song. And the more I listened to it and dug into it, just realized like how sad the song is, even though it's meant to be like oh, things will be better for me in another life. And I just really related to that kind of warring hopefulness and despondency in the lyrics. I being a neurodivergent and queer person, like I've never really felt at home in this world. I've never really felt like there's a place for me here. So really related to the lyrics. And when we'd be on tour and we'd have an off day, I would sit and, strum those chords and sing those lyrics. And when it came to writing the album, I just thought like it'd be really cool to interpolate this song in some way. So I came up with the intro track and the outro track, and basically wanted to start the album kind of hopeful. It's the original chords to the song. It's all very major key, and then it all kind of comes crashing down. And then by the end of the album, the song comes back, but in a minor key, and it's much more kind of desperate and lost and at its wit's end. And it just created a really nice kind of through line with the album. It just fit in perfectly.
I agree with you there, man. I thought that song was pretty cool and amazing with how you compiled it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Who designed the album art for Unself?
So that was a guy, I hope I don't mispronounce his name. His name's Joost Vervoort. He is from the Netherlands. He's in a band called Terzij de Horde. Uh, our guitarist Brady, he was out working with another band on tour, and he was at a festival somewhere, and there were all these art exhibitions, and Joost's artwork was there, and he was like, this stuff's really cool, and like sent pictures back to us. And he was like, I think we should work with this guy for the album art. And yes, we hit him up and sent him the album. And we were like, what's your process? Like, do you want any concepts or ideas? And he was like, no, no, no. I just want to listen to the demos and I will, whatever I feel like, whatever kind of imagery is evoked from the album, he just paints. Like, he just does like drafts and drafts and drafts of paintings. And the artwork that we landed on was like the second or third draft he did, and it was just perfect. We loved it.
I thought the album art was sick and amazing myself, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are the band's immediate music career goals?
Wow, good question. Just to be able to keep doing it as long as we can on our terms, to be able to experiment and write whatever we want. Like, we never want to be the kind of band where it's like we have to work with this producer, we have to write this kind of song. We just want the phrase me and Brady have been using a lot is that we're striving for longevity through integrity. Like, we very much model ourselves after bands like Converge and Neurosis and stuff like that. Like, bands that, they're not the biggest bands in the world, but they have a ton of prestige. They have a legacy to leave behind. Like, that's what we're going for.
Right on, man. Before we get into the next question, can I suggest a band you might want to check out?
Yeah, sure.
Have you ever heard of the band Mind Rot?
I haven't. No, I've not heard of them.
Check out their albums. They only did two albums. They're just banded now. They were great when they were around. Long, doomy tracks. Some of them
Awesome.
seven
Yeah.
minutes or longer.
Awesome. You say Mind Rot.
Yeah, Mind Rot.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I'll look them up after this.
Okay. Who are the band's musical influences?
So when we got together, it was very much bands like Mastodon, Converge. There's another band that from Chico, California. They're called Arm for Apocalypse. They're a band that I discovered back in college. I was just out in the town one day, went to a record shop, saw their first album called Defeat, and just thought the artwork was cool, and just thought, well, I've got the money, like, let's give it a go, and completely changed my life. It's just like very sludgy, doomy, kind of hardcore metal, and it was just amazing. Like, it's one of my favorite albums, and it we very much kind of modeled our sound around them.
Right on, man. One of the bands that got me into the hardcore scene is back from 1994 called Negative FX.
Okay, Negative Effects.
They're a good hardcore act. The guy's vocals are extremely harsh, weird, but very aggressive, buddy.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll give them a go.
What social media outlets can the band be reached on?
So we have our Instagram, we have Facebook, I believe. We're on Bandcamp. Yeah, pretty much YouTube as well. Like, you can find us pretty much anywhere.
Please give some guitar tips or advice for starting out guitarists.
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, for me, I didn't really bother much with getting lessons or like, tab books or anything like that. I very much just I was self-taught. Um, I would go on to like ultimateguitar.com and just look up my favorite songs and just see if they had any tabs on there. But ultimately, like, I guess don't let anyone tell you how you should be playing guitar. Just play it how it feels good to you. There's nothing better than just kind of letting yourself explore the instrument. I understand that, sometimes theory needs to come into play and stuff like that, but I mean, yeah, I never got on with like lessons and tutorials and stuff. I just figured it out by myself and had a hell of a lot of fun doing it.
What advice do you have for people who want to form their own bands?
only do it because you love it. Don't join a band just because it's something to do. Do it because you have a passion for it. Like, never let that kind of inner teenager die, the one that just wants to get in a room and rock out for as long as you can. Yeah, just make sure you're doing it out of love and for no other reasons.
Please give some vocal tips or advice for starting out vocalists.
Oh, good one. I'd feel hypocritical because like I didn't like learn anything kind of well. I didn't really learn a technique or anything. I just started yelling and just over time, like if I would be screaming and like my voice would start to like feel damaged and stuff like that, it was like I don't know, it just kind of like altered my voice to a point where I wasn't, it wasn't getting shot after shows and stuff like that. But nowadays, we use Melissa Cross's vocal warm-ups. In terms of like exercises and stuff, we use the straw method. So like you'll do like running scales and stuff, but you do it through a straw into a water bottle. That really helps with projection and breath control and stuff. And just try and eat as healthily as you can. Like, don't eat dairy right before a show because that like coats the vocal cords and stuff. Uh, Try not to drink like fizzy drinks before a show and stuff like that. Like, yeah, just kind of oh, and drink lots of like teas and stuff like that.
Anything you say that about the Zen screaming video? I watched some of it too myself because I'm a vocalist on top of a DJ.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I do stuff in the vein of Deicide, Incantation, Cannibal Corpse, Old Malignancy, all the old school bands is what I learned from. I try and infuse a bit of the new stuff like Deeds of Flesh and Pathology in there a bit too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and that leaves us with the last question of the interview, and then I'll need the station IDs. What new band news do you have on the Conjure front? As in anything we might have missed so far in this interview?
We have a headline tour coming up in October. It's only going to the Europe and the UK, so no US dates yet. But yeah, the album's out October 24th. We have a listening party in London a few days before that. Uh, Otherwise, like everything is still in the works for next year.
Okay, awesome. That's it for the questions. I want to thank Kristen from Nuclear Blast for setting us up for the talk today. It's been awesome talking to you, buddy. And now we're going to get into the station of these. But on this, hey, this is Dan of Conjure, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
Hi, this is Dan from Conjurer, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
And the second one's for Craig's Metal Storm. You can come up with whatever you want in that one, buddy.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Sorry.
I said, if you want, you can come up with your own idea for this the show Craig's Metal Storm, which is my personal show ID. You can come up with something cool for that one. Like think of something you want to say for that station ID.
Sorry, I can't hear you that well.
I'm
Just
saying
one
if
more
you want
time.
to come up with your own ID for Craig's Metal Storm, you can do that. And you can come up with one that'll actually be cool. Like think of something you want to say that's cool in regards to Craig's Metal Storm as a station ID.
Hi, listen to Craig's Metal Storm. That's sorry, that's all I got. I'm not very good with this kind of thing.
Then we'll do, hey, this is Dan from Conjure. You're listening to Craig's Metal Storm. Crank it up.
Hey, this is Dan from Conjurer. You're listening to Craig's Metal Storm. Crank it up.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time, Dan, and thank you very much for the interview.
Okay, thanks, man.